Welcome back, everyone, to SecurityCompliance.io, your CMMC compliance platform by InterSec Inc. We are a CMMC AB registered provider organization. This is the third of our video series that provides guidance on CMMC assessment as proposed by DoD and CMMC accreditation body. Our services for CMMC include assessment, advisory, consulting, and managed security services for full coverage of administrative and technical CMMC requirements. As a reminder, the intro to the CMMC assessment is covered in full detail in our first video, so I will not go over it at this time. Feel free to look at the description below to get to the video or the playlist on the right. Before we discuss how AC.1.003 practice will be assessed by C2PAOs, let's go ahead and go over a brief background about the practice. The CMMC Level 1 has 6 domains and 17 associated practices, with our current focus on access control. The CMMC standard defines 4 capabilities for access control. The access control domain for Level 1 has 4 practices. The third practice, AC.1.003, is about verifying connections to external systems. Let us go ahead and discuss the meaning behind AC.1.003 using NIST 800-171 as a source. As previously identified, this focus is going to be on external systems. The definition of an external system is a system with no direct supervision of the application of security requirements. This requirement further focuses on the processing, storing, and transmitting of federally classified information on said external systems. This requirement also recognizes that there's going to be situations where organizationally systems need to be accessed externally for jobs or any other types of requirements. So these controls are going to be implemented to ensure that the system does not get compromised by external entities.
Now, to understand what that means in the CMMC sense, that's going to involve controlling and managing connections between your company and any external networks. It is further involving controlling and limiting external devices and those networks from accessing any of your organization's info, especially info that might be FCI or any sensitive info. And to help in that, you can abide by a checklist, which involves limiting who, when, and how your company network is accessed externally. Let us go over an example to understand this practice a bit better. You help manage IT for your employer. You and your coworkers are working on a big proposal, and all of you will put in extra hours over the weekend to get it done. Part of the proposal includes federal contract information, or FCI. Because FCI is not shared publicly, you remind your coworkers to use their company laptops, not personal laptops or tablets, when working on the proposal over the weekend. Now, why is this important? You have to make sure that your company has proper implementations in place to prevent FCI from being given to the wrong people. So in this example, you can see that the person's reminding their coworkers to use their company laptops, as it's most likely that those laptops have the proper controls in place to prevent this information from being leaked.
The assessment procedure is covered in full detail in the previous 2 videos. So again, feel free to go ahead and click on the videos on the playlist or click on the first video in the description below. I will not go over this entire information at this time, so feel free to pause the video to get a better understanding of the assessment objectives, objects, and methods. We will be going over them in full detail for this particular practice moving forward. For AC.1.003, the assessment objectives are 1. Connections to external systems are identified. 2. The use of external systems is identified. 3. Connections to external systems are verified. 4. The use of external systems is verified. 5. Connections to external systems are controlled or limited. And 6. The use of external systems is controlled or limited.
The AC.1.003 assessment objects are going to be the same as the 2 previous access controls, so you can take a second to pause the video to go over them at this time. Moving forward, the assessment methods are the same across the board for all access control, but we're going to re-emphasize them one last time to ensure that the understanding of them is in place. The examine method is the process of reviewing or analyzing assessment objects. The interview method involves understanding those assessment objects further, but also meeting with individuals or groups of individuals to achieve clarification. And finally, the test method is the process of running those objects against specific conditions to see what the results will be.
For AC.1.003, for the examine, interview, and test process, there could be a variety of components and artifacts that a C3PAO may examine when going through this process. For the examine side of things, they could look at system connection or processing agreements. For the interview side, they could look at personnel with responsibilities for defining terms and conditions. And for inspecting, they could look at the mechanisms implementing terms and conditions on use of external systems. Here are all the relevant references for the AC.1.003 practice. An example for one that you could map is the sys controls for version 7.1, specifically 12.1 and 12.4. As always, if you'd like to learn more about CMMC, please check out some of the useful resources on this screen. They will also be in the description below for your convenience. Another quick way to keep up to date on CMMC and any of its changes is to subscribe to our mailing list, which is also available on the screen at this time. We invite you to get a free CMMC Level 1 self-assessment and generate a gap analysis report at our CMMC platform, www.securitycompliance.io. As always, we're going to continue to have a series of educational video content on CMMC. Coming up, we're going to continue working on the access control practice and finish up with AC.1.004, and we will be moving forward with the remainder of the domains and practices. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more content, and turn on post notifications so you know when we post next time. Thank you so much for watching. So excited to continue this. Have a wonderful time.